This morning, the fires were extinguished and the detonation of ammunition stored at the military base near Yankoy in the Russian-occupied Crimea ceased. Huge queues of cars with fleeing Russian tourists have formed on the bridge from the Crimean Peninsula towards the Russian Federation. Now, I am asking all our people in Crimea, in the occupied territories of Donbass and in the Kharkiv region to be careful. Please stay away from Russian military facilities and all those places where military ammunition and equipment are stored. The fewer opportunities the occupier have to do evil and kill Ukrainians, the sooner we will be able to end this war and liberate our country. The increased traffic on the bridge leading from Crimea to Russia proves that the absolute majority of the citizens of the terrorist state already understand, or at least feel, that Crimea is not a place for them. Yesterday, the Russians launched a missile attack on the territory. So I'll do that again. Yesterday, the Russians launched a missile attack from the territory of Belarus, as a result of which they damaged the runway of the airport near Zhytomyr and several cars. There was no loss of life. At night and in the morning, the Russian occupiers again fired on Mykolaiv. Port infrastructure and civilian facilities, including the university and a production plant, were destroyed. Private houses were also damaged. Missiles launched from the S-300 system were initially designed as surface-to-air weapons. The Russians now aim them at ground targets. We know that their accuracy is over 120 meters, so they fire 2 to 5 missiles simultaneously at one target. It is not a precision weapon, and the Russians know that by targeting a selected object, they also destroy the surrounding buildings. But it doesn't mean anything to them. They do it to intimidate people. Coastal holiday resorts near Odessa have been fired on. 2 holiday resorts and several private houses were destroyed. 4 people were injured. A difficult but Ukrainian-controlled situation persists in the south. There has been a storm in the Black Sea for several days. The enemy ships continue to take refuge behind the Kharkiv Peninsula and further towards Novorossiysk along the Crimean coast. But there are 2 ships ready for action carrying 16 missiles of the caliber type, so the threat of missile attacks remains. In the occupied territories, the Russians continue to kidnap Ukrainian local government officials who do not want to cooperate with the occupation authorities. In recent days, the chairwoman of Verkhnaya Rohatchik municipality, Svetlana Korotun, has been abducted. The fate of the 5 people who were previously kidnapped remains unknown. The occupiers want to create a collaborative governance in all local governments. Therefore, they remove those who do not want to cooperate. The kidnapping of the chairman of the municipalities continues. Russians are trying to replace them with other people, but there are fewer and fewer people willing to cooperate. Evacuation from the villages closest to the front line is underway in the Donetsk region. More than 6,000 people, including over 1,000 children, were evacuated from the frontier zone in the Donetsk region. In the territories regained in the districts of Zhytomyr, Sumy, Kharkiv and Chernihiv, the infrastructure is being rebuilt. The Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine extended martial law throughout the country for another 90 days. That is, until November the 21st.